So here we have Luna, and this is going to be Luna's go home video. This video is meant for you to refer to and be a good tool or resource when Luna comes home to continue her training. This video is not meant to show Luna doing everything perfectly. Puppies have on and off days, like good days, bad days, and such. So just being mindful of that. And that if she messes up in this video, that's a great thing because then you get to see how to work through any bumps in the road. So I'm gonna get her attention. Luna, come. Sit. Good girl. So for this part, we're just gonna do some sits and downs. I'm gonna get her attention. Sit. Good. So sit is like I'm lifting her nose to the sky. Down, on the other hand, is the opposite direction with my hand and a reference to the floor. Down. Good girl. Wait till she was nice, flat, and relaxed, and that's when she gets the treat. So sit, and then down, just like that. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Good girl. So now that I was done with the down command, I gave her a treat. She flips over for a belly rub. That's fine. But when I originally tell her down and she sprawls into a belly rub, that's a good girl. That is not a down. Instead, that is an improper down. And we want to set her up for her other commands, such as the sit, stay, down, stay, that she knows a proper down. Getting her attention. She's looking at some other puppies. Good girl. Sit. Good. Oh, she dropped it. Wait till she finishes that. And then down. Good girl. So down, I do have to bend over a little bit for her. I think that's just because she really likes someone close and she likes smelling the treat. If you didn't have treats, you could definitely use a toy as well. Sit. Good girl. I will say Luna's a little disinterested right now, only because she just ate breakfast. I should have definitely done a training session instead of just giving her breakfast for free. Should have made her work for it. I say that giving a free meal is a missed opportunity for training. So what you can do is in the mornings or in the evening when it's time for her meal, you can hand feed her that and do a quick training session, give her the rest afterwards, or feed her the whole thing by hand. And the reason for that is it keeps her engaged. She's gonna be super focused and she's very motivated to work for you. So it's a really great, successful time to work. Trying to get her attention. Come. Yes, good girl. So we have some other puppies over there. She's like looking at them, trying to get their attention. Yes, Luna, good girl. Sit. Down. Gonna wait it out. So in this moment where she's kind of protesting, not gonna say the command over and over. Good girl. Good job. Worst comes to worst, if when I'm referencing to the floor she doesn't want to do it, I'll give her a little bit of nibbling on that treat and lure her back into that down. Taking those steps back never hurt, especially when she first comes home. So sit, good girl, down, there's some distractions. Wait until she looks at me before I give her that come command. She's saying hi to another one of her trainers. Luna, come. Oh, she was on her way. I'm not going to repeat it. Yes, making some noises. Good girl. And then as soon as she gets to me, giving her something to do. So that's sit. So since she's getting really distracted, like I said, this is my fault for feeding her breakfast before a training session. I'm going to cue in that focus. Luna, come. Yes, good girl. We're under the sit. Then a down. Not going to repeat it. Just wait it out. Good girl. And then if we do one more set, she's looking to see what puppies are over there too with her. Yes. Sit. Good girl. And this part right there, this is her sits and downs for her go home video. John, good job. Such a good girl. So for this part of Luna's go home video, we're going to do her leash walking. Start by taking a treat, holding it to my left side, letting her nibble on it if that's what she wants to do, and then every so many steps giving her that treat. Whenever I go to change direction, I'll say it this way. Yes, good girl. And using those positive marker words, of course. Yes, good girl. Not using that leash to reposition her or to put her where I want her to go or pull her back, nothing like that. Of course, if it's a dangerous situation, this way, and you needed to get her out of the road or something, of course, give a tug, whatever you gotta do to keep her safe. But when you're just casually walking, using those treats to reposition her, good girl. Good girl. This way. Good girl. Good girl. Got a little tangle. Good girl. Good. Saying because she went to go grab something. Not that the leaf is any danger to her, but we don't want her getting used to just grabbing things. Good girl. And making sure I keep that treat nice and eye level. If I were to hold it up higher, it could potentially teach her to jump. So we don't want that. We want her to walk with nice, good manners. So this is something Luna typically likes to try and do. She wants to chew on it, she's teething. So instead of just yanking it out of her mouth, I'll take that treat, hold it by her nose, and then we start walking. So when you see that she's chasing it, the best thing to do, take that treat, and while you're doing so, bring that leash behind her head. Typically out of sight, out of mind. I'll choke up on the excess. Good girl. So just keeping that treat behind her head. Now it's not as appealing. Out of sight, out of mind. This way. Good girl. This way. Good girl. Just trying to keep that slack from tangling her up. Good girl. Good. This way. Yes. Good girl. This way. Good girl. So I do recommend getting a treat pouch or always having a pocket full of treats just to keep things positive, especially at this age. Luna, sit. Good girl. This way. This way. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Luna, sit. Good job. So this is how we're working on leash walking. Again, having treats or toys that help keep her on track and keeping her mindset on leash walking. And if she goes to chew on that leash, use the treats. Like I said, no tug of war, or else it's just going to be more of a game. Using the treats and getting that leash behind her. It may take a few moments. Just take a deep breath and get that leash right behind her, out of sight, and then you'll be able to carry on as you were. So I'm going to get her attention one more time. Luna, sit. Good girl. So for this part of Luna's go home video, we are going to do her kennel and weight. I'm going to show you a few ways we work on that. First one is the treat method. Toss that treat in. Oh, you can bounce back and a little bit further, so I'll toss one towards the back of the crate too. Ideally, throw it in the back of the crate, makes it where she goes all the way in, and you don't have to worry about her backing out and making it negative. So until she goes in there, she loves her kennel going in here. Sometimes she'll want to just train and go into the crate. So nothing wrong with it, keeping it positive. You want to continue that. Now she's in there, I'm going to tell her wait because she's done eating. Wait. She wants to go follow the other trainer. Wait. And this is going to take some repetition when she first comes home. So saying wait, and again, just following through, making sure you don't let her just barge out. Wait. Okay, good girl, just like that. Good girl. Kennel, good girl, close her in there. Let her eat that treat. Wait till her focus is on you and not chewing. Because if she's eating, her ears are most definitely off. I'll tell her wait. Leave some other distractions in the area, so that's really great. She hears other people and puppies. Wait. Okay, good girl. Good job. Good girl. Toss it in there, tell her kennel. Close her on in there. It's important to know that Luna should always be crated with a crate-safe toy such as this one, something that is not plush. She cannot shred it. She really likes this toy because it squeaks. And I'll show you another method of crating in just a moment here so that you're not filling up the tank. Another thing I want to mention is she will come home with one, but all of our puppies come home with a soaker pad, and this just lines their crate so they have something to lay on, and it's not just a hard surface underneath them to help their hips and joints down the road. But again, it also just is a nice little barrier for when she first comes home. If she does have an accident, ideally that would absorb it and not her. Because when they come home, stress is a good stress or a bad stress, it can cause accidents. So just keep that in mind. And then I'll tell her wait. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Good job. You don't always have to use treats. She'll go right back in there. She doesn't hesitate. Down. Good girl. Wait till she goes in there, finishes her treat. Wait. Okay, wait till I say the word. Wait. Okay, good girl. Good job. Good job. So something you should keep in mind too is like at nighttime or when you're gonna leave for longer periods of times, that you take Luna out to go potty and that she empties the tank, or you definitely will be more susceptible to her having an accident in the crate. Okay? Good girl. So at nighttime though, when you want her to go in the crate and you want to keep it positive, you don't want to be filling up the tank with treats because you just emptied it. We're going to use the toy method. I'll tell her wait. Okay, good girl. She's very patient. So she really likes this toy, it's very loud. I'll take it, I'll toss it into the kennel with her, on her kennel. Closing her in there, like I said, she'd have something to lay on. You'd go do your thing, whether it's nighttime or you're just leaving for a little bit throughout the day. She has something to keep her occupied to help the time pass quicker. She would be on a comfortable pad. And then when you came back, she wasn't full of treats going in there that she should not have an accident. So I'd tell her wait. Okay, good girl. So we'll do it. She didn't even want the treat. She likes toys more. Most definitely is more toy driven than food driven. So take it, toss it right in there with her, close her in there, telling her wait. Wait. Okay, good girl. Good job. Good job. So we'll do that one more time. Kennel, close her in there. She's typically very quiet in the crate, maybe a little bit of whining, especially when you're in the room. But if you ignore her, she will just settle right in with her toys. She loves toys. So keeping a few in there with her that are safe, non-plush, nothing she can ingest, will help the time to pass quicker for her, keeping her occupied and less likely to whine or cry. And tell her wait. Making sure her focus is on me and not even the toy. Wait. Okay, good girl. Good job. Good. And we'll end this part with her doing a sit for her toy. Sit. Good job. So here we have Luna, and for this part of Luna's going video, we're going to do her place command. I'm going to wait till she's done scratching her ear, and then afterwards I'm going to give her the place command. I'm going to explain what it is we're doing as we go through it so you understand what we're working on here. So I'm going to reference the bed. And if she's protesting like she is here, tapping the bed a little bit just to get her a little excited. Good girl. And praise. Yes, good job. Good job. Place. No treat at the beginning of this, nor any treats throughout. And the reason for that is I want the end goal to be her working for that treat. So if I'm giving her treats throughout it, there's nothing really that's going to be exciting for her at the end of this. And I'm giving her praise throughout. As you'll see, I'm going to walk up, I'm going to pet her up, telling her good, yes, all those positive marker words. Just assuring her throughout that she's doing great. Something to note about the place command, as you see I have some distance between her and I. So I have her holding this, being content. She can sit, lay down, stand, whatever makes her happy. I don't give any commands while they hold the place, because that's the command itself. I just want her to be on that bed, content, until I give that release word, which you'll see here in just a moment. When she's whining, I'm not gonna not gonna acknowledge her, I'm not gonna tell her to be quiet, otherwise it could lead to her being a little bit louder, and we just don't wanna feed into it. So the more you ignore it, the better it'll be. So now that she's quiet, I am gonna walk up and praise her. Good girl, good job. Good job. Nice, calm, gentle petting will keep her in a calmer, more training mindset. Good. Place. So when she breaks away, seeing that picking her up and putting her right back in the bed. You can even say if her body language seems like she's gonna break, because sometimes you can see she's leaning over the edge thinking about it. And the reason we do the and I get her right back on there is a puppy especially, or even a dog, their attention span only goes so far and they can only generalize so much information. So when they break away, if I sit there and I try to lure her back on there or start over with the place command, one, she's getting away with it, and then two, it's going to go over her head what we were originally working on. So to keep her in that mindset, getting her back on there is a really big part of follow through. So she'll understand, especially more as she works on this at home, that she has to follow through before coming off there, or she's just going to end up back on the bed anyway. I'm going to walk up and praise her. Good job. When she settles, I'm going to give the release. But I just don't want her to think I'm giving her the release because she's acting like she wants to go. Okay. Yes, good girl. So just once she stopped leaning over the edge, good girl, that's when I gave that release. Good job, and then lots of praise. I want her to know that it was a good thing, and we want to associate the place with a positive thing. Good job, good job. So we'll do that again. So again, if she's being kind of where she doesn't want to go on there and protesting a bit, you can give a treat if she's really protesting, really doesn't want to. So like in this moment, I'll pull out a treat, unless she gets on there for me. Yes, good girl. I'll give her the treat. Because she didn't want to and we're trying to keep this positive, using a treat to get on or get her on there is fine. You just don't want to heavily do that. You don't want that to be what she relies on. Otherwise, she just got the reward. But the reward for this scenario and such situation was so that she would get on there and keeping it positive. You want her to start on there on her own accord. You want her to get on when she's asked to. Because if you pick her up and put her on there and you just start place like that, it's going to put her into a different mindset. So having her in there, she's nice and settled. Gonna walk around, make some noises with some crates over here. So she got really excited when I grabbed the toy, scoop her up, and put her right back on there. Please. We have some jealous pups in the room. And that's great. We want her to be able to work through these distractions. I'm going to grab the toy again, as that's what really made her want to break. Place. Good job. Okay. Good. Girl, she corrected herself in that moment, so I said that and then I said the good girl because she automatically corrected herself. So she knew I didn't appreciate that by just tone of my voice. And then again, I want to back that up when she does a good job so she knows that she's doing exactly what I want her to do. She loves toys, so that's a really great distraction. Place. It is also important to note that the place command, once she has this down pat, so when she comes home and you're practicing this, and she can hold it for roughly 15 minutes to 20 minutes. You can then introduce maybe a crate safe toy or long-term treat while she holds the place command. But as of right now, we just want her focusing on understanding the command, getting this really strong and down pat, and then you can give her things to help her pass the time a little bit quicker. But if you do that too quick, she's not going to be focused on the command, instead she's going to be focused on chewing. And so to set her up for success down the road and longevity, holding off on giving her those rewards while working on this. So I'm going to step out of her sight. Just before I got all the way on the video, you can see her. Scoop her up, take her back, place. We're going to do that again when she settles. You can see it in her body language. She's excited. She wants to jump right off that bed. And I'm going to tell her, and she's settled in. Good girl. Good job. Good job. So especially when she comes home and she starts making good strides for you, she's letting you get more and more distance, walking up and praising her for a few moments is really ideal. It keeps her excited about training and she knows that she's doing what she wants and all she wants, or what you want, and all she wants to do is make you happy and please you. So when you walk up and you praise her, you're assuring her she's doing a great job. Nice, calm pettings. I'm not going to rile up her face. Yes, good girl. Calling her back to me just so I can get her right back on there. Please. We are keeping our sessions with this still short because she is still young, and it's going to be what's most successful for Luna here. So if I drag it out and she's really struggling, it's going to therefore have a negative impact on this in the long run. What I want to do is give her this command 1 or 2 more times, nice short little place commands, and then we'll give her the release. Please. So we can end it on a good note. Just keep in mind when she comes home, session should still stay pretty short and quick. And that as time goes on and she gets stronger, then you can start making the sessions longer. If she starts to really mess up, end on a good note. It's better than ending on a bad note or with frustration, because she will definitely feel that. So, I'm going to walk over and praise her. Now go wait just one moment so she doesn't think she's getting her way. Okay, yes, good girl. I want to do at least one more. Yes. Good girl. Good, all the way on there. Yes, yes, place. Good girl, good place. Good girl. Place. Luna really likes to stick with you, so this is one of those harder commands for her. She wants to just be right at your feet, but we have to have it where she works through this and not getting into that want to be so close all the time. A great time to use this command is when you're doing dishes, when you're doing any sort of house chores where you don't want to put her in the crate, but you want her content somewhere, especially when she gets this down pat. So I'm going to step outside again. Turning my back to her to change body language. I don't know if you can see that. When I turn my back to her, it's a change in body language, it's a break of eye contact. So a young puppy especially will see this as a change of body language, like they could potentially move, get off the bed and get away with it. And in reality, we want her to understand that even if I'm not looking at her, she still has to hold this. So I'm going to walk out of view. Good girl, good job. The whole point of this is for her to be able to have you walk out of the room and not have it where she's just breaking away. Put it right back on there, because there's no release word, no getting away. Girl, good. Okay. Yes, I want to do just one more quick short one, just to end without her breaking away on me. Luna? Yes. She's finishing up her treat. We might need another one just to keep this positive. Taking her a moment just to chew. Don't want to give her another command or start the command with her chewing, otherwise she's not focused on what I'm asking of her. You done? Okay. So she doesn't want to go down there without a treat, so we'll make it worth her time, just to end on a good note. Oh, she didn't like that treat, it wasn't worth it to her. There we go. Place. Up. Okay, good job. Good job. So we're going to end there with that. I'm going to let her finish that treat, and then we're going to do a quick set. Luna, come. Oh, you gotta come all the way here. Oh, you gotta come over here and do that for me, please. Sit. Good girl. Yes, good girl. So for this part of Luna's go home video, we are going to do her sit stays. We have multiple distractions in the room, and she may break, and that's perfectly fine. It's going to show you how to work through when she comes home, how to keep this positive and successful at the same time. So I'm going to kind of lower over here just to give the best space between her and I. Sit. Stay. So she breaks away. I'm going to pick her up, take her back to the same spot, and put her back into that same position. Stay, and start over with the stay. You may notice when she comes home, you might only be able to get this much distance from her, and that's perfectly normal. You're going to have to regrow and build with this command when she bonds with you. I'm going to wait till I have her focus, because she might lose focus on what we're doing, because she's itching right now. So she's sniffing the treat crumbs from my hands. I'm just going to put her right back into that sit. Stay. So when she stands up, then I just put her butt right back down to the floor, put her right back into that sit, start over with that stay. Okay, so lots of distractions in the room, which is really great for her to work through. And it's time to give her the release. I'll just walk up and praise her. Okay. So no treats at the beginning, nor throughout the command, just at the very end. You can just move her again in this direction. The only reason I'm doing this, sit, stay, is because we can't go outside due to rain, and I want to be able to get the most distance between her and I. You'll notice many similarities between sit, stay, down, stay, and the place command. The difference is sit, stay, and down, stay are really structured commands. They have to hold that sit or down position. So even though she's laying down and still stay in the same spot, it is a sit, stay. So we want her to hold that sit, stay, stay. Because it is a structure. So she has to hold that sit or that down, or whatever it may be. Whereas the place, she has lots more freedom. She can just do whatever she wants on the bed. She just can't leave the bed. So again, if she breaks away, I say, pick her up, take her right back to the same spot, roughly. Of course, sometimes in certain settings, you can't get the same exact spot, but fairly close, and then getting her back into that same position. And then when it's time to give her the release, which we're not going to just yet, because she laid back down. You recognize sit, stay, stay. I want her to hold this for a second before I give her the release. Good girl. Okay. And the reason I wait to give that treat until the end is because I want her to work for the reward. Just like with the place command, no treats at the beginning nor throughout, but at the end. So that's the end goal. You want to come? Good girl. Yes. Sit. Stay. Still adjusting to her new collar. So just taking her, putting her right back in the same spot, same position. Stay. And you have to remember, she's only getting an introduction while here. Stay. It's going to be up to you when she comes home to continue and strengthen this. Stay. She found some crumbs, and those are very distracting. Sit. Stay. It's going to take lots of repetition. All about that follow-through aspect. If I get frustrated and I quit right now, she's going to think that that's how this command goes, and that's all she has to do. And in reality, we want her to know she has to stay in that spot until I give her that release word. Okay. Do it again. Give you a little bit of a different angle. Try and get her closer to the camera. You want to go? Good girl. Sit. Stay. If we were working on this outside, I would even suggest to put her on a leash. And the reason for that is just so if she does break, it's outdoors. You want to kind of keep her close. The quicker you get her back to that spot and in that position, the faster it will be that it clicks to her what you're doing. Sit. Stay. Stay. And the reason that I pick her up and I put her back at the same spot, same position, again, one is for follow through. And the other thing you have to keep in mind is dogs only have so much attention span no matter their age. Sit, stay. So to keep this successful, if I would try to lure her back to that spot and try and get her to do a sit automatically on her own, you have to realize that it's going to go over her head what you're asking of her. Stay. So instead, taking her back to the same spot, same position, shows her, that, especially throughout time, that if she wants to leave that spot, she has to wait for that release word. And that if she breaks away, she's still going to end up back there. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. So now we're going to do her down stay, which is the same exact thing, just her doing it down. Sit. Down. Stay. I will say her down stay is far stronger than her sit stay, and I think that's just her energy level. She likes to lay down and relax, so this is just more comfortable for her. So when she breaks away, just kind of plop her right back down, nice and gentle. Stay. We want to keep it positive, so you don't want to be rough about it at all. Just gently, and you'll see. Sit. One. She's really easy with that. Sit. Down. Stay. Very glad she's actually messing up for this, so this way you can see how to work through it and how much repetition it may take. Down, stay, up. I'm going to praise her. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. Do another one. Try and get her along this wall as much as I can. Sit. Down. Again, just for optimal amount of space between her and I. Stay. There's lots of tree crumbs around here, so it's kind of hard for her to focus. She's very food motivated, so having all those tree crumbs makes it really tempting for her to crawl and like lick them all up. The biggest thing about working with your puppy is making sure you're extremely patient. If you get frustrated, she's gonna feel that, and all she wants to do is make you happy. So just being really relaxed, keeping a nice calmness about your training, and then if she's really struggling on something, end it on a good note, and then try again later. Good girl. Stay. She got a little eager there. That's fine. Okay, good job. Do one more of the downstairs. Luna, sit. I'll make sure she's in frame for this one. Sit. Down. Wean it out. Good girl. Stay. So the second you say that stay, that's when you start the follow through. She has a jealous friend over in the corner. He's just watching the training session. Good girl. Okay, good job. So now we're going to end this with a quick sit down, just because those are her strongest commands, and we end every session with that. Yes. Sit. Sit. Down. Good.